All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the pre-market prep. I hope everyone's having an amazing morning. Hope you had a great day yesterday. Good morning, Norm. How are you today, buddy?
Hey, good morning, buddy. I'm doing all right. Hope you're having a good morning as well.
All right, excellent. All right, let's get into it, guys. Let's look at what we had yesterday. We had a pretty nice watch list that turned out better than expected. Starting off with Snap. I gotta say, Norm, I did not expect this type of move from Snap yesterday.
Nope.
It definitely caught me off guard. So off guard, I missed the damn trade just out of disbelief. So, but our community did take an amazing trade on these a couple of moves that it did here. So they had the breakout here above 35.6. That was a great one off the high of the day. You know that once it got above that, it was gonna go. So that traded well there, and beautiful continuation, beautiful pullback to the moving average. Another opportunity to jump back in here, and then just another great continuation again. So just Snap trading, just incredible, and not just the actual chart itself right now. The price action was actually clean. Again, no reason for me not to be in this trade while looking at other stuff. But again, just an amazing trade on Snap yesterday. They're down 1.8 today. We'll take a look at what's happening there. Volume is pretty decent for the most part. So possible continuation on that one for a play today. NKLA actually traded clean. And one of the issues with NKLA is just it's so hard to believe this stock in its move. Because the pullbacks, as we mentioned before, are so aggressive. I was paying close attention to his opening range breakdown on the five, but just couldn't find myself pulling the trigger. And the reason for that is because I just don't trust that this stock can trade clean with the way it does the pullback sometimes. But it was a beautiful short, beautiful continuation here, nice drop. I definitely got the FOMO and regretted not being in here, and then gives you a nice a V reversal here over to the VWAP. But again, it is a tough stock to trade, so don't beat yourself up too much if you're hesitant on taking a trade on a stock like NKLA. It is completely okay. Here's pins. Pins also broke out nicely. This is a beautiful high of the pre-market breakout. We've been talking about that, how often it happens, and how great the continuation can be. Pins obviously in play yesterday. Not with a great pre-market action, but look at this breakout here. Beautiful continuation. You do get kind of a nasty pullback here. I don't like how deep this pullback is. And the following candle also drops down. So it would have been tough to take a 5-minute open range on this one, to get this continuation. But again, beautiful breakout here. I believe Brian and others also took this trade. Brian was trading live for us in the chat room yesterday morning, and it's just a beautiful breakout there. I believe Thor was in that one as well. I don't recall. Here's Facebook. This I took this trade right in here, guys. A little bit early for a engulfing pattern. It did play out nicely. I did not catch this whole move. Unfortunately, I did not think it was going to do this. I believe on one of the small pullbacks here, it did wake me out, unfortunately. But again, just a beautiful continuation there. If you were patient, you could have taken advantage of this entire move. Here was then from there, it just gets real choppy. It was just not clean at all. On Facebook, PayPal was good. This was my first trade. I got in before the 5 minutes here. I did use this candle here as it came above, engulfing the last pre-market candle on the five. I did use that as an indication to go long, and this was a beautiful trade, guys. Beautiful pop into almost the pre-market highs, not quite, and then stopped out at break even once it came back down. But again, we got a really good move. This was $1.50 move here. So if you're playing that strategy, so I believe it was a 1 minute opening range breakup, but I played as just engulfing the previous candle. I love the buying pressure that came in here. So that was my signal for an entry there for a possible scalp and squeeze there. So that traded well at the open. Nice big drop all the way down here, and then again just recovers back to the highs of the day and the pre-market as well. We have a beautiful level here, 211. If you're watching this entire day, you can see how that level was an important part of this stock yesterday. Several times testing that, finally finding some great support here into the mid afternoon, and then playing nicely towards the end of the day. Here's Workhorse. Workhorse was a beautiful short after about 30 minutes or so. Again, struggle at the open here to lose this level 2007. This price action here was brutal. I almost got in short, but again, just the way this thing was moving, bouncing back and forth like that, and the spread was just nasty. Definitely stay away from that. Hopefully, you did as well, because you would have been squeezed pretty badly on this one. It does settle down. Look how beautiful this short is, guys. Coming down here, losing the VWAP after what, a half hour, just deciding what to do here, back and forth. Every candle overlapping the previous candle. Big sign of indecision, but I love these three candles here, not creating a new high. on the 5, right? And then you start losing the VWAP there, and then all the way down to the low of the day and then some. So again, just a beautiful drop on Workhorse if you're paying attention to this one closely. So that is what we had, guys. Actually, the list that we had that did not look so great turned out to be pretty decent yesterday. Our gappers list today, we got a little bit on both sides, under red and green this morning. We got a one low flow at the moment here on this gappers list towards the downside, down 11.7. We'll take a look what's going on there. We got plug Tesla. Tesla's all over the news today, so we'll see what's going on there. I know they're reporting their biggest quarter in history or something like that. I saw this morning, so we'll get into what's happening with that. With that said, let's take it to the market post. What do we have going on today?
Yeah, man. So not much, to be frank. Like, we're just kind of hovering around previous day close. As I mentioned yesterday, the market is really just kind of hanging on to see if there's any chance of a stimulus bill getting passed. Looks less and less likely as we get closer to the election. Who knows? Maybe something gets passed after the election. You and I were speaking. I'm kind of surprised. We've kicked off earnings season. We're actually, starting to get into the busier part of earnings season. We're not quite there yet to like the serious
Yeah.
meat of it, but the market seems to be like solely clinging on to stimulus stuff and not really doing a whole lot other than that. Not that we can't find some trades here and in there, but either that or we're just so used to having a gappers list that's 50 tickers long that it seems weird, but
Yeah.
it's a little bit slower than I anticipated. Anyway, that having been said, SPY is essentially flat. Qs are up just a little bit. They're up almost 0.2%. SPY's down 0.1%, but just kind of churning. We just had jobless claims come out. Initial claims came in actually quite a bit better than expected, and continuing claims dropped more than expected as well. So that's good news. Later today, 10 a.m., we've got existing home sales, and then some other leading economic indicator data. So that'll come out. As far as sectors this morning, healthcare is up the most, just over 0.5%, and retail, is up 2% this morning. So we'll see. Hopefully, we can find a few things in here.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, guys, let's take a look at what we have in our gappers list. Let's jump right into it. Let's remove some of the stuff we have here. I'm going to leave Snap because we're going to take a look at what's going on there. If we have any type of continuation opportunity on that one. So let's make some room. And we'll start with Snap. Let's see what's happening there. This one, at the moment, it is down 1.2. Again, after a big gap yesterday. And not just gapping up huge, maintaining that gap, which is pretty impressive for this stock.
Where'd you
So,
get Snap?
I'm sorry?
Where'd you get Snap?
Where do I get it? What you mean?
Where'd you pull it from?
Oh, I just had it here from yesterday's list.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Yeah, I kept it here from yesterday's list. I figured it might have some action today. But yeah,
I'm
it's not on
sure
our
it will.
gappers list. Yep. So again, guys, Snap is on here. Decent volume right now, down a percent, not much. It was down more than that just a few minutes ago. So I think it will definitely be one to have here. Let's see how this thing is going to play out. We're going to get any type of continuation, test some of these levels we had before, or we're going to start just dropping down a bit here. Let's look at SDC. This one we looked at in the past. Again, doesn't trade all that clean. Right now, pre-market action is not looking interesting at all. It is a 14.1, which is nice, but man, this daily and pre-market, I'm not a fan of anything I'm seeing here. For the most part, what we get as volume? This is about 7 million. Not too bad,
This
but this
used to
daily
trade
is
a
horrible.
lot more. This used to
Hmm.
show up on our gappers list a lot soon after it
Yes.
IPO'd. What was that, like a year ago or
Yeah,
so?
I remember that. Hmm.
And it traded pretty well, and we haven't seen it show up in a long time. They
Yeah.
did have news this morning on a partnership. They're doing some stuff because this is like do it DIY braces, I guess is the way I would describe this. And this stock got hammered after it IPO'd, and then it's up this morning. They started doing some work with, I guess, like dentist and things, which helped them out a little bit. They announced a partnership this morning. They've got a big short interest at 28%, just over 28%. So I think this pre-market, maybe some people bailing on it, covering some shorts. Who knows if it
Hmm.
squeezes? I say it all the time. There's potential for a short squeeze when you get around that area, but it doesn't mean it's going to happen. The people that hold that are not, uh, are the people holding that large short interest are seasoned professionals that know what they're doing. And a
Yeah.
lot of times you'll see them get in there. They've got way bigger pockets than you and I, and they don't want to lose their money. They'll just slam the damn price back down.
Hmm. Hmm.
So, you can't anticipate the squeeze. You got to wait for it you know, um,
Yeah.
to
Kind of
happen.
kind of
Like we've
develop
seen,
and
like GameStop. How many times did GameStop get decent news, gapped up a little bit, and slam back down
yeah.
until finally one day, you get the nice big squeeze out of it. So you got to just lay in wait and watch it create itself.
Yeah, definitely one of those stocks where you got to be pretty patient there. All right, let's take a look at so we'll keep it as a possible, guys. Again, I don't see anything great on here right now, but that could change as we get later into the day. It is up 14%, decent volume. We just need a better pre-market activity. Hopefully we can get that today. KNDI, is this Candy the crazy stock that we were watching a couple of weeks
Yeah,
ago?
Chinese
Yeah.
EV company.
Yeah. So I am not going to watch this, guys. Be very careful trading this stuff. I mean, you've seen the moves that it can make. Just be mindful of that. Pre-market right now, I'm not seeing anything great. We do have some volume here, 195, up 8.1. This has to get better. You want to see, like we've been showing you guys, some really good low flow stocks that are trading very well. This is not it right here, right? So let's skip on this one. And this is not a low flow, by the way. It's 39 million, but you want to treat it like a low flow stock because that is the way it moves and trades. Let's look at Plug. Plug right now, actually not bad pre-market action. If you guys remember when Plug was, it kept consolidating and breaking out. The pre-market on every single one of these days was pretty nice. Very similar to this right here, where it'll pop up a couple of cents in the pre-market, and then it'll just keep banging its head against the level that it finds high of the pre-market. And then at the open, you have this either drop or just complete immediately out of the gates a break out of the pre-market high. So those were pretty nice. So right now we have we're up 4.4 on it, 521. Worth adding at the moment because I like the way the pre-market looks right now. I like the volume. A big red day for them yesterday. They might be looking for some kind of bounce back here. So let's see what we get out of that one. Next, we have Tesla. Again, a lot going on with Tesla. Norm, what's the latest and greatest on these guys?
They had earnings last night, fifth straight quarter of profitability, and they reaffirmed their guidance of 500,000 deliveries, or their goal of 500,000 deliveries. So good stuff. I mean, they sold off for a couple of days there, which really, hang on, I'm looking at the wrong thing here. You can see they sold off for like four or so days, and then were, essentially flat yesterday. Tried to break out a little bit and came back down into earnings, which is a little rare for Tesla. It doesn't usually happen that way. A lot of times it runs up into earnings. So popping up a
Hmm.
little bit. It'll be interesting see how the day plays out.
Yeah.
They did get a
Uh,
couple of upgrades this morning on their earnings news. So
Okay, excellent. Right now, again, pre-market looking pretty good. Great volume, up 4.7. I'm gonna put it, if you like Tesla, put it as a main one in your list. I don't like the way it trades a little bit. Could be difficult. Today that could be a whole different story with the catalyst and everything behind it. I'm still gonna put it as a possible for now. If I have space, I'll bring it up. ACCD, this is just atrocious pre-market activity, so we don't want to keep this
garbage.
on here at all. Look at the daily, look at the volume. I mean, less than a million shares, right? This the biggest day here, which is horrible, by the way, had 1.9. So you don't want to be involved in this. Let's look at KO. KO is great when it has news. Do we have news on KO today?
Yeah,
Looks like we have
they had
some action.
earnings. They had earnings, and they beat top and bottom lines. They said they're picking up some traction now that restaurants and theaters and stuff are beginning
Mhm.
to reopen. So
Yeah, not the cleanest trading stock, but we have kept it on our list in the past when it has had earnings or any kind of news that can possibly bring some volume and make it trade well. Today could be that type of day. So I'm going to put it on here. Might not stay here. Let's see what we go through. in the next column here on the down gappers list. Let's look at PLL. At the moment, their pre-market action is horrible. Their daily is horrible. It's just nothing great about this. We'll skip on it. I mean, down 11% at 139 on the volume. But again, just look at this. And we have seen this one before. It has been on our gappers list in the past. And I think we always end up taking it off. It's just brutal activity there. Here's Piton. So Piton took a nice hit yesterday. Did not see that. And now we're gapping down 3.5. This is definitely not good for them after just trying to break out of 135 here. Did they have earnings yesterday as well? Looks like they might have. Big drop here.
No, they got a downgrade this morning out of Goldman.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's definitely definitely affecting them this morning for sure. I do like their daily here. I do like the drop on Piton. Worth keeping on our list right now. Pre-market action is not great, but I think this will get better. This is a nice drop for them after look. I mean, look at the run up this thing had, right? Nice breakout here above 98.42. And didn't really look back until just now, right? Really getting a nice pullback now yesterday and today. So definitely on our list. SPAQ SPAC is a shell company, so we don't trade this.
SPAC's a SPAC. They're
Yeah.
not very
Yeah,
they're not very creative with their ticker on this.
exactly. So I'm gonna
like the Tortoise Acquisition Group was a SPAC. It's a nice name for a shell company, right?
It is a beautiful name for a shell company. Makes perfect sense. I had one trade on this stock. It was on this day for sure because it was more intuition. Like this stock just does not deserve to be here. Everything showed great for a short. Other than that, I have not touched it because it is a horrible stock. I shouldn't have touched it on this day neither, but it was just the signals were there. All right, we'll skip on that one, guys. So let's take a look at our. Well, what do you have, Norm? You like anything you like this morning?
A couple of things. JKS, we've been talking about it in our team stuff, in our team chat. This thing, and we've mentioned this a few times, this massive run up it's had from $20 essentially in a straight line with very few, if any, pullbacks. There's 2 red days in there that it just tiny drops. No, 3, excuse me.
If you can even count these as red days.
Yeah, I hope nobody's taking that long up there.
It's just brutal. But again, it happens, guys. We hear the stories, we read the articles after the fact. Not just retail traders like us, even firms make the mistake, have the emotions of fear of missing out, right? We've seen it. So on the opposite side of this drop here, there's a buyer. Just think about that. Right, it's just scary stuff. So this was a great short yesterday. It traded very nice towards the bottom, but even then, the price action was the scary part. I mean, the pullbacks on this thing at some point were 75 cents. So it's kind of scary to be in a stock like that. Today, right now, they are again slightly up after a huge red day yesterday. These guys are going to be in play today. I'm going to have it here. I'm probably not going to watch it as close as I would anything else, just because again, it's aside from having a red day yesterday and being great, not the spread, but the range on this is a lot. It's $1 candles, $2 candles.
Oh yeah, for sure. So, it's not an easy trade. It might be interesting to watch. I won't personally trade it. I just knew it was worth a look.
Yes, I agree.
This morning to discuss. So that's kind of Neo, of course, might do something. It's been consolidating on the daily.
This daily right here is really nice. And again, how strong the stock has been. It was due for some kind of pullback or consolidation. We got that a couple of days ago. We're now consolidating some more here. Worth watching. Good volume right now, almost up 1%. Definitely want this on my list today. All right, let's see what we have in the chat room here, guys. Let's go over to what do we have? Let's start with James. James is giving us T. What's going on with T this morning? Some good volume on AT&T here. They're up 5.1, 2.7 million shares traded. So pretty good there. T has been taking a nice hit here. Have not seen their daily in a long time. Nice big pop. I'm assuming they have earnings, Norm, or some kind of catalyst.
Yeah, they had earnings this morning. They came in. Actually, they missed their earnings estimate by a penny, but the revenues were higher. So
yeah, Now, this stock normally does not trade very clean. A lot of these stocks, telecommunications, Verizon, AT&T, Spring, they are horrible intraday trading stocks. But today, this type of action, that type of news could be the difference maker. Could be possibly tradable. So we'll keep it on there. T is good. This the JKS we have on there as a possible. Yeah, I agree, Mr. T. The spread on JKS was pretty bad, and it is probably going to be bad today. Again, it's a stock for us to watch and kind of entertain ourselves a little bit. But if you don't put this on your list or don't trade it, even better. PayPal. Let's see what's going on there. Yeah, good possibility of a continuation on PayPal. I had a nice day yesterday. It is gapping up slightly, just hanging around above that previous day close. But the volume, as it was yesterday, is not here in the pre-market. Just barely under under 100,000. So I don't see anything great right now on it. I'm gonna skip it for now. If it gets better, please throw it back out to us. Let's take a look at Facebook. Facebook had a good, decent breakout first thing in the morning. Today, I'm not seeing anything great, guys. Pretty flat right now. Not a great pre-market action as we saw yesterday with the gap up, and the volume is it's not great right now. So we'll skip on down for the most part. Let's look at American Airlines. This one, volume is good. 1.7 is good for American Airlines. So that tells me there's some activity happening here. Pre-market is not great, and it hasn't been great for a long time for American Airlines. I mean, we've been seeing the volume come in and not really getting good intraday plays. The last couple of days, the few times that we looked at it in the last, I want to say 3 weeks or a month, that market open has been wild, very, very choppy. So I'm gonna put it as a possible because I do like the 1.7, but it's gotta get better here in the pre-market, or if the market starts trending in one way or the other, and usually down. It doesn't help much the airlines up unless the airlines themselves have news. If you're starting to notice that, like if the market
They had
drops, they would
earnings.
drop. They had earnings.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll take a look at it. I'm not seeing anything great right
AAL
now
and
besides the volume.
AAL and Love both had earnings this morning.
What was that one?
I mean,
Sorry,
they're AAL and Love,
Love. Let's take a look at Love. No, Love is LVS, right? It's LVS.
LUV.
Oh, UV. There you go. Yes. Yeah, not much going on here near. So we'll keep American Airlines. They have great volume. Let's see if that gets better. All right. What do we have? We looked at T. We put that on there. Yes, T had earnings, so that could be good. They got some great volume, good pre-market action. It's the GSX. Uh, you know what? This one actually, I took this off my list last minute, and I think I added PayPal because the spread on this was horrible getting into the market open. So again, looking at this chart here, I don't think the spread got any better. So that's concerning. I know it looks great now after the fact, but the spread needs to be great for us to take a trade, right? With the way we're trading, with this, with the style that we're using. I mean, right now it's 35 cents, almost 30 cents. I don't think it's gonna get better. It might get better, but I don't like the way that looked yesterday. So last minute, I did take it off my list. All right, we have Neo. That's good. BPTH for fun. Is that thing even still? Oh yeah, here it is. So BPTH is getting some action. 6.8 million shares right now, and we are up 42%. So this is moving. Definitely something going on here. We could add as a low flow as of right now. But again, guys, you guys know the deal. Very, very careful with this one. BPTH. We had a lot of fun with this. When was it? Last year? Was it last year already? Man, how time
Yeah.
flies. Wow. All right. So yeah, we had a lot of fun with that one. All right, let's see on YouTube. What do we have, guys? Baba. Let's start there. What do we have for Baba? Baba's pre-market not looking all that great. More just moving sideways here. They had a great pre-market a couple of days ago, right? When they had this gap up, and here they traded very well also. But I'm not seeing anything great here right now. Volume is on the lighter side, almost up 1%. I'm gonna skip on this one for now. Let's look at BPTH. We have here low flow of the day trading very well. Is it a low flow also? What is the float on this now? I think it got, yeah, 3.4. That's very low float. Let's look at BGI. Is in play today. Yes, BGI, great volume, 11 million. BGI, what is the float on this? 4.3. Yeah, another one that's looking rather decent this morning as well for the low flow team. Let's add it on here, BGI. Zoom is a tough stock to trade. I know it's been really active. I know the last couple of days we've been looking at it in chat. I haven't had it on my watches, but we've been looking at it in chat with all the moves that it's made. But man, it is a tough stock to trade. It really is. So I'm not going to add it. I might look at it for fun if somebody mentions it later in the chat room. But again, I'm not going to add it to my list. It's very, very difficult stock to trade. Let's look at Workhorse. Also has been pretty good. The last couple of days dropping nicely here. Yesterday, after was it yesterday I settled down and dropped? Yeah, I settled down and then had this beautiful drop here yesterday. That was good. Pre-market not looking all that great. Are we any sort of we had a good level here. It's previous day close. You're getting some action here. So that could be interesting. This could be a good possible if it gets the volume. Does not have it right now, but it could be. Plug, I actually do like plug today. I like the pre-market action. If it can stay up here for a possible pre-market high breakout, right? That's what I'll be looking for on this one. And I like this level 1560. And you can also mark this in case by the time we get to the market open, it gets above that. But these two levels will be good to see if we can stay close to that and then get the volume for the breakout. We've seen that before. It has worked out pretty well. So let's see if that happens today. What else, guys? I think that's we're pretty good. All right, let's go to the community announcements. We'll come back and look at this list.
As we get into the announcements, guys, on YouTube, sincerely appreciate it. If you hit the like button, it really does help out. So thank you very much. And also some really nice comments in there this morning. So thank you. Appreciate it. Last night, we had Dr. Reed's webinar on Traders Over 50. That should be posted in the Education Center soon. Next week, we're going to be talking with Jared about how he trades his pierce and fail strategy. Why lack of conviction leads to reversals. Great strategy. Sometimes the best setup is a failed setup the other direction. And that's pretty much what that is, a breakout trade or a breakdown trade that fails and catch a reversal on it. So looking forward to his webinar next week. He really breaks it down, gets very technical into stuff. So love hearing Jared do his thing. Looking forward to it. Mike's webinar module 4, mindfulness during trading, should be up next week, 8 p.m. Eastern Tuesday. We will have Nada, our mindfulness coach, talking about don't believe everything you think, trying to dispel some of those either detrimental or negative thoughts in our heads and stick with the positive ones that will help us. Member trade of the day, guys. So mark up and post your best trade on Twitter. Mark it up, take a screenshot, mark it up with entries, exits, strategies, ideas, thoughts, whatever it was that caused you to get in the trade, partial out of it, etc. Post it on Twitter, tag at Bearable Traders, at Mike B_BBT, and at NormBBT. Also use hashtags BBT family, day trading, and stock market. We will pick a winner each day. That'll be announced on the Closing Bell Show and on Twitter. Then the trade of the week will be announced on Mondays. They will win a $100 Amazon gift card. If you're watching us on YouTube and haven't been in the chat, you can do so at a discount. Use the promo code PREMARKET24. That's PREMARKET24. That'll give you 7 calendar days, 5 trading days in the room, unless there's a market holiday, which we don't have any until Thanksgiving. 5 trading days in the room. Access to Carlos's onboarding class each and every Monday night, live at 8 p.m. Eastern. Doesn't auto-renew or turn into any other kind of membership. Also, if you're looking to either become a lifetime member or upgrade your membership to lifetime, use the promo code Halloween35 to do so.
All right, excellent. Thank you, Norm. All right, guys, let's get into this list quickly, scan it and see what we like this morning. Here is Snap. Snap is active. Trying to come back to that previous day close. Good volume, getting close to that 1 million shares traded. Beautiful day yesterday. Just clean trading. Let's see if we have some juice here to get to go green. Here's Plug. Plug's coming back. I want to see this hopefully stick around this 1560. That's great. Let's see if it can do that. So I'm going to keep that on there. Great pre-market action. Good volume right now. So up 2.4. Here's KO. KO also has news. This stock trades well when it does have a catalyst behind it. It can be, other than that, it can be very choppy. There's nothing else pushing this thing higher. So this morning they're up nicely. I do like the pre-market at the moment. I like the daily. Look at the possible breakout we can have here. We'll put that level in a second there. Here is Piton. Piton as well. Nice drop yesterday. Really red day. And today we're having a nice gap down of 4.2. Let's see if we're going to get some continuation towards the downside here on this one. But I think either way, bounce or drop, we should see a nice pre-market activity from this one today. I'm sorry, intraday market open for this one today. Here is Neo. Neo looks good. Lovely, lovely daily, guys. Beautiful, beautiful daily action here, and also a great pre-market action. And then here is AT&T again. Usually does not trade very well, but I do like this one. I think every single one on our main list, one, two, three, four, five, six, they all look pretty good. I don't think we have to go any further, guys. Let's look at our possibles list just in case. JKS is just for fun. Tesla, if you like trading Tesla, is definitely in play today, up 4.4, amazing volume. I'm going to keep it here. I find it a little bit more difficult to trade for me. SDC could be a possible, but again, pre-markets, it's not great. American Airlines. American Airlines is looking decent. Let's see what we have here. It's almost 2 million shares traded. I want to bring American Airlines up. We'll do levels for it, and then we can fine tune our list a little bit later. But I think American Airlines is getting a lot of action right now. Let's see if it can go green, right? Only down a 0.5% at the moment. And then Workhorse is another one that could be great, but not right now, not the way it looks at the moment. Let's start with levels. Let's start here with Snap. So Snap high of the pre-market. What do we see here? Your high of your pre-market is pretty much the previous day close. I'm not going to put a lot of weight into this stuff here. There's no volume here if you look at it. It's very light, very early on. Previous day close is what you want to have on there. That's already posted there for you. Towards the bottom, low of the pre-market, 35.85. So we'll throw that on there. And then towards the top, you have your highs from yesterday. Obviously, your pre-market high and your previous day close are taking care of you there. Now, this is a big gap, right? If you get above this previous day close, you can go back to yesterday's action, right? Let's see what happens here. You do have a beautiful level here, 37.22. Look at the resistance there. The beautiful breakout also comes back. You find support right around this area. So that's a great level to have. You have there's another one slightly here that actually played a better role towards the end of the day. Look at the support happening here, and here, right before the close. So that's 36.91. Throw that on there as well. You have a few levels towards the top that you can kind of play around with. There's some more up here, but I don't want to mark too many. I'll have these two ready first if we're going to go in that direction. And then same thing towards the bottom, right? Towards the bottom, if you look at yesterday's pre-market high, right? That could be a good level today as well, over at a little bit lower than the pre-market high, right? Where you have more touches right here, 35.44. That could be a good area as well if we do decide to lose this previous day close right now. And then below that, another level with a lot of touches, pre-market and also into the market open, 35, right? 34.95. So three good levels there that you can have towards the bottom, just in case things starts to fall apart here for Snap. Here is Plug. Again, Plug is just falling apart. So did not really stay above next to this 1560. Towards the bottom, what do we have? Our pre-market low is, previous day close is covering us there, which is the low from yesterday as well. Over to the bottom, we have the low of the pre-market at 1427. Not a lot of activity happening here, so don't put too much weight on that one just yet. Actually do put a lot of weight on it because look at the daily here. We have some more confirmation of that 1427. So yeah, put some weight on that. Then towards the bottom, we do have 1353. Great area of resistance here, a couple of days here, then breaks out, acts as support after that. So 1353 if we are going to seriously take a drop here. And then towards the top, highs and lows from the last two trading days above 1571. Got you covered there. Here's KO. So KO, again, not the best trading stock, but hopefully can trade well today. High of our pre-market at 5160, also being confirmed right by this day here. Great area of resistance. Can we break out of that? Or are we going to start heading back down here? Below that, you have another level slightly above here, about 51 or so. Got a couple of days opening, closing around there, finding a lot of resistance at that area. So 51.02 could be a good one as well. Then below that, guys, highs and lows from the last two trading days. I really hope this stock can break out. Towards the bottom, you have a lot more resistance, a lot more congestion down here. So towards the top, it's a much cleaner move. I think that would be the least pass of resistance if we can break out of that. And the next level above that 5160 is that 5212. It's a good one there. Here is Piton. Piton with a nice drop this morning. Low of your pre-market is sitting all the way at a 117.79. So we could throw a level there. You have your pre-market over at 120.76, so that's good. Towards the top, you pretty much cover highs and lows of the last two trading days, previous day close. You got some really good levels off this consolidation that happened here, and again, just a really red day for them yesterday. Towards the bottom, you do have a perfect level here, guys. 113.71 area of resistance that then becomes support. So that's a good spot there as well. So we'll see what P-Town does. It's starting to drop here. Looks like it might want to head towards this low of the pre-market. We'll keep an eye on this one. That one could be a good one either way. Whether it decides to go up or down, this one has some room to run on both ends. So hopefully it can trade well for us today and not be too choppy. So here's Neo. Neo high of their pre-market. We don't have to do a lot of levels on Neo because we're kind of stuck between the highs and lows of the last two trading days. Which, if you go back, could be the last 4 or 5 days when we have this consolidation here. But again, within this range, you can still trade very well, right? 28.20 high of your pre-market. Your previous day close is below that. And then towards the bottom, the lows of the last two trading days got you covered there. So don't need to add a lot here, guys. I think we were pretty much taken care of there. Here is AT&T coming right back up, which is nice. High of the pre-market 28.09. Looks like we want to take a shot at that one more time here in the pre-market. Above this, we do have a beautiful level here, 28.32. Look at the area of support we have there. Then the breakdown once we lose these levels is nice there as well. And then above this, we do have 28.60. So a couple of levels towards the top in case we're going to rip today. Again, right now up 4.8, which is a pretty big move for this stock this morning in the pre-market. That's a decent sized move. This is great volume. They normally do not trade this well. You're not going to see that unless there's something happening, which we do have today on AT&T. 27.75, great area of support right here, guys. Got a couple of days opening and closing around that area as well. And then all the way down here, a lot of touches on this one too. 1, 2, and 3. This one not so much, a little bit out of that. But 27.48 got 3 days on there, opening, closing, and bouncing off that 27.48. So let's take a look. And again, I know it might seem like a lot of levels, but just take a close look on how wide these things are, right? I mean, you're going from 28. This one here is 27, right? And on this type of stock, a $28 stock, and AT&T, that's a big move, right? You cannot expect to get $2 or $3 out of a stock like this one. If you can get 40 to 50 cents, that's a very decent move on a stock like that one. American Airlines trying to go green, hitting that previous day close line. Definitely has got some good action going. As far as levels, I think you're covered here, guys. I think just mark down the low of the pre-market. Maybe this one here because it has a lot of touches as well, 12.20. And then towards the top, I think you're covered. Highs and lows from the last two trading days. We're banging our heads against the previous day close right now. Let's see if we can go green. But a lot of volume on this one. So we'll be looking out. If this thing starts trending, we'll be looking at this one. And the other airlines, just in case there's some sympathy moves happening there as well. All right, 9:10. Let's take a look what our moderators have this morning. Let's see what's out here for us today. Let's start with Thor. So Thor's got a KO, AT&T, Snap, JKS, SQ, and Neo. Those last three are his secondary list. Mike has the break of high scanners plus Piton is the one he likes at the moment. Tiffany has Tesla, Snap, and AT&T. Peter has Snap, AT&T, KO, AMD, Tesla, and LVS. Jared's looking at Plug. Plug started to drop nicely. We'll look at that in a second. KO and a Tesla on his list as well. Did I miss Eamon? I missed Eamon. Eamon, he's watching KO, Snap, Neo, Tesla, Plug, Netflix, and PayPal. So some players that were active there yesterday. Let's take a look at Plug. Yeah, Plug is starting to drop pretty nice here. Very active, 682. So I do like this one. So we'll see. I like them more towards the top, but we'll see if we can get any opportunity on this one. We'll be good. All right, guys, that is what we have. We're done a little bit early. Does anybody have anything else that we have not covered that looks good? We got a little bit of time to kind of go over some things here. Let's see. Let's see what we have.
CRSR.
CRSR. Oops. Wait, ain't that stock? This stock was this is the IPO, right? Yeah. This one is up 7.8. How did it trade yesterday? Yeah. Brutal, brutal, brutal. Yeah, it could be interesting. It's breaking out. It's funny, although it traded horrible yesterday. It's gapping up nicely today, 8.9 to 10. So not typically the stuff I like to watch, but man, this is looking interesting, especially for IPO stock breaking out here. Um, so CRSR.
LVS, few people have mentioned that they had earnings are up by 6%, but they don't have a whole lot of volume. They should hit the scanners here before the open. They're at
Yeah.
91,000.
Yeah, their daily looks a lot more interesting than their pre-market, that's for sure. And just because of the gap up, because this doesn't look great, obviously. But American Airlines, same thing. The American Airlines daily is horrible. Yeah, this could be a possible. I mean, I'm definitely American Airlines is the one we'll keep an eye on closely. I think this one has great volume. Hopefully, it's just not going to chop around. The last few times we had amazing volume in the pre-market, it just chopped around right at the open, right out of the gates, and didn't really give us anything great. Let's look at AMD. Got a couple of folks throwing that one out. AMD, nah, I'm not seeing anything great. So I will lean on Peter to call this one out if it starts looking good. I know Peter will be. Peter has a screen that is just. I think the screen is already has AMD engraved into the actual monitor. So I think that's why he doesn't move the stock from his watch. He just keeps it on there to not have to deal with the blurriness of another
Yeah.
stock being over the AMD. So with that said, he'll call it out for
He's
us.
got it tattooed. We on one of our meetups in New York, he got very drunk on some expensive whiskey,
Mm,
and he got AMD tattooed across the lower portion of his back, right above his butt.
it's a beautiful, beautiful thing, man.
He's got an AMD tramp stamp.
Oh man, there we go. AMD. What else we have, guys?
Somebody asked a question here,
Yeah.
and you can answer it because you're the one that has a lot to do with this. But somebody, Hockey Dad One's asking, where can a newbie go to learn about these levels you're adding? There's so many listed, it makes no sense whatsoever. First of all, I will say this before you tell them where to find that and
Hmm.
get info on it. But I will say it looks like Greek, and nothing against Greeks. If you're Greek, then this doesn't make any sense to you. But for the rest of us, it looks like Greek. It's like Greek when you come in here for the first time, everything's going so fast and happening. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
the more time you spend in here messing around with it, doing it yourself, watching the show, then you'll get it, and it comes very quickly. It'll just become firsthand. As for that, go for Carlos. Where can he find info
Yeah,
on the
so
levels and how
there's
we
a
find
few
us?
things we have on our education center. We have a complete class on levels because it's important. You need to know what these levels mean, right? So in the pre-market show, yes, we're going fast and we're putting things together, but we do have a complete class on every single one of these levels and why they're important, right? And you mentioned a good thing. The more you watch us, the more you watch these levels, it'll start to make sense, but you want to know the reason behind it, right? So if you're a member in the community, definitely make sure you go look at our class number 2. We talk about all the levels there and the reason why these levels are important. And go back. If you look at some of the stuff and I don't have a great example right now, but if you look at the levels we make and you look at the following day or you see how the day turned out to be, you're gonna notice that those levels get hit. They're not just random levels, right? There's some really good levels that are not just random. Take this one, for example, this 1427. Do we really think that this is just happened? Hey, we're going to reverse from here. Hey, we're going to stop here, 1427, which is going to pick that random number. Of course not, right? Everybody's looking at the same thing. Everybody's looking, okay, where can we have a possible reversal? Where can we have a loss of momentum? Where can I find support? Well, guess what? These guys are drawing these lines. That's what we're all looking at. And the clearer the level is, the more conviction it's going to have, right? So if we have a
Yeah.
level where, I'll give you an example, this one right here. I mean, this is a clean level. It doesn't take a lot to see this level, 1104, right? It's a clear level. You're getting buyers coming in here because if you're a buyer, you have a bigger conviction that off this level, you are going to get a bounce, right? So we get into all those details about levels, but yeah, I agree. When you look at this for the first time, it makes almost no sense. When I first joined BBT, when I first joined BBT and I saw class number 4, I was like, "What did I
Get a
get
little.
myself into?" Because it was a lot. You have to watch that. It's not meant for you to watch one time and get it. I watched that class about 4 times. and it's sunken. It really sunken. So same thing here, guys. So hopefully that helps answer your question. I think we have a shot of Peter's tattoo.
He's
Can
being Peter created this. He's being a little generous with both his tan and his physique, but
Yeah, I think the only thing that's actually real
that's a
here is
little
actual.
higher than that's a little higher than Peter's actual tattoo.
Absolutely. Guys, thank you so much for joining the pre-market show over on YouTube. We are going to continue prepare for the market open. Up next is Brian and Andrew. They're going to walk us through their watch list. Actually, before we do that, we have one more watch list. We have John. He's watching Tesla and Zoom, and he loves his high of day breakout. So he has those two on deck. But with that said, Brian and Andrew will walk us through the open. We had an amazing webinar yesterday from Dr. Reed. If you missed it, the recording should be up today by noon or so. Just incredible. It was for traders over 40, but I gotta tell you, there was advice there that I don't care what
Traders
age
over
you are.
50, Carlos.
It
Don't
was
don't
it was
don't throw me
50.
in with that. Yeah, it's 50, man. Don't throw me in with that.
I'm trying to get close to the line so I could, so I could justify myself being there. But anyways, it was a great advice that people that traders that are not even up at that age could use in trading. So if you missed it, the recording will be up in this in the LMS system in our
The
education system.
slide said over 40. Oh, I'm
It did.
depressed.
Okay.
I
All right.
guess it
Well,
did,
40,
man.
50. Listen, some of those questions that they asked, I think I answered yes to a few of them. So, and I'm 36. So you can learn from it. Guys, take care. Trade safe. We will see you tomorrow, Friday. Have a great Thursday. And I'll see you guys then.
Take care, guys. Trade safe. Thanks for having fun with us today.
Absolutely.